Hello and welcome back. How are you all doing? So we have got 3 events coming up. We've got AFL unsuppressed, which is coming up tonight. That's tonight. We had the weigh-in for that last night. That is the card. I don't think this show is going to be that good. I think this is going to be one of the worst cards we've done. They are Rutten, who was in UFC. As you can see, he's a 24. He's in UFC at the moment. He will be taking on Fabu Wagoo. Oh, God's sakes. Yeah, definitely not what we wanted. Now I've broke the game. Oh dear. There it is. Right, there we go, fixed it. Awesome. Right, anyway, yeah, so he's in. You know, that's going to be our opening match of the night. That's going to be an interesting one. But this is all. Most of these guys should be on prelim, but that's the card for this show. Coming up at Night of Champions, we have the first crowning of the AFLW champion, which will see Setsia Homer taking on Taken Fuki, Renzo Garcia taking Egan Dim, Marie taking on Finaki, Naki taking on Aisha, and then Ray Wizard taking on Mark Rue. Then we have the semi-finals, then we have 2 more matches, and then we have the finals. That is the card for Night of Champions. And then we've also got a nice card looking up at this is Civil War, which is happening in April. This is I think we've got quite a lot of good matches going on for Civil War, and I will obviously keep adding events each month as time goes, for each month after. So we've got Batsman taking on Kenja Kujara, Chase Matthews versus Dave Lufik, Bart Vale versus Joe Sun, Oleg taking on Royce Garcia, Frodis Luster taking on Sheen Doggery, Mambe Yamanina taking on Ken Shamrock, Momoyoko taking on Pamiko Podio, and Frank Haymuck versus Tashi Odu. Of course, there will be an event going on every month and see if that helps over the next 3 months. Last month we made quite a bit of money, but we're going to head on to Unsuppressed tonight. And the show's taking place in Nevada, as all the shows are. Have a swig of my toffee nut latte. Because that's what we do. So yeah, I should hopefully get the next 3. I don't know if I'm going to get all 3 done today, but we'll have a look. But we'll see how we feel. We've got any prelim fights? No prelim fights, all main fights tonight. We're just going to stick with the main fights. So welcome to Blue Cat's pre-show analysis of AFL Unsuppressed. It's been held in Nevada. This is the first AFL show of 1994. We're due to have 8 main fights and no preliminaries. Headlining is Baz Roof versus Fabio Gugu, 301 in AFL Open White Fight, and Baz Roof is 101. Also on the show is Artur meets Keza Bizim, Kezim against Moon. AFL's number 15, open weight, Nasty 7 vets make his AFL debut, and then also Gunnar takes his AFL debut. There's a lot of debuts tonight. They have fought once before, these 2, in the main event of UFC 2, when Rodriguez goes, and 1993 and Gu won by submission. These fights headlined for AFL before. Goodger is the 6th ranked open weight in AFL. Ruffer is 24. Both fighters making their AFL debut tonight. Welcome to AFLW. Guys, we thought we'd copy UFC and throw them into the main event. So I've looked at how the weightings work. You go up when you hit 100%. We're at 14% now, so we need to really start hammering home these shows. So that's our main event tonight, very similar to UFC. We've also got these 2. These are fought once in the co-main event of UFC 2. Also fighting there. Smith won by unanimous decision. Smith is the 8th ranked open weight in AFL. Egan Smith will enjoy Smith weight advantage. We haven't changed the rules yet. The rules will change for Night of Champions. We also got our Jemison versus Kez Bizmes. So these are 2 the time in the 4. Both fighters making an AFL debut. Everyone's made a lot of new fighters tonight for the show. So get ready for an interesting show. This guy, Xavier, I absolutely love Nasty Zen Fraser. I love both of these guys. So these 2 he's making them. This is the AFL debut of Fraser. He is working with UFC. We are above UFC, so he gets to have our picture. And we've got Jack McGockling taking on Nasty's aim Fraser tonight as well. And I do believe, and then we've got Yakamu versus Hugo Mastuna as well. So it's going to be an interesting card. Really look forward to this one. I think this show is going to be quite an interesting one as we get ready for the round. The main card opens with Yakamu going off with Hiroki Masatino. The referee in this bout will be Big John McCarthy. I will be changing the entire rules for the next show. So mainly all of the things, the only thing that will be changing is the way the rounds are done. Russell Montoya, Jared Fenley and Leo Masters are our referees for tonight, and that's the opening battle. Both fighters meet in the centre. Abe uses the left jab but has a right hand absorbed and the gloves. Masio lands a 1-2. A quick exchange of strikes doesn't lead to anything. The two fighters engage. Abe doesn't connect with the left jab but hits a right hander. Masatino hits a left cross. They come together and strike. Masatino doesn't connect with the left jab, but he hits a right cross. Abe misses with the left jab, but hits a right cross. Both fighters move in and engage. Masatino is off target with the left jab, but connects with the right hand. Abe finds a way, passes his opponent's guard, and lands a sharp 1-2. The fighters engage. Abe lands a left hook. Masatino lands a left jab and a right cross. Abe comes forward, walking down at Masatino. Masatino hits a jab in exchange. Abe connects with a jab but misses with a vicious right hand. Shoulder punch. Abe studies his opponent looking for an opportunity. Both fighters move in and engage. Abe misses a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a quick left jab and a right hook that is avoided at the last second. They come together and strike. Abe continues a right hand with a left jab and a right hook that is avoided at the last second. They stand and trade blows but neither can land anything damaging. The two fighters engage a strike but neither lands anything worthwhile. Both fighters move and engage. Abe misses a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a left jab and a good right hook. For the first time, Abe is starting to breathe a little heavier. We now pass the halfway mark in this round. The two fighters engage. Masio doesn't connect with the left jab, but hits a right hand. Abe hits a two-punch combination, a quick left and a straight right. Abe initiates an exchange of strikes. Masatino hits a two-counter left hands. Abe connects with a jab, but Masatino avoids a big right. The two fighters engage. Masatino's left jab has a right hook blocked. Abe finds a way past his opponent's guard and lands a sharp 1-2. Abe stalks forward, pressing Masatino. Masatino scores with a counter, two counter jabs. Abe still can't hit a set-up left jab, but then he catches Masatino with a right hook. The two fighters engage. Masatino dodges right hand and counter-attacks with a jab and right cross. Abe is definitely slowing. His gas tank is being challenged here. Abe stalks forward, pressing Masatino is a jab in exchange. A 1-2 from Abe fails to land. The two fighters come together and engage. Masatino scores with a jab but just can't hit a right cross. Abe doesn't connect with the left jab but scores with a right hook. Abe is looking very tired. The two fighters engage. Abe uses the left jab but misses with a right hand. Masatino hits a two-punch combination, a quick left and a straight right. Both fighters come together and strike. Masatino has a right hand blocked. Abe tries a right hand, but gets it observed on his opponent's glove. Both fighters step up to strike. Masatino hits a left cross. He finds a way past his opponent's guard and lands a sharp 1-2. Looking very tired, Abe isn't able to resist being pulled into a clinch by Masatino. Masatino is trying to muscle Abe up against the cage. Abe ends up blacked up against the cage. Masatino pins Abe up against the cage and hits a couple of nice right hands onto the side of the head. Masatino hits Abe, who is pressed up against the cage with a nice short uppercut. Masatino hits a powerful elbow from the clinch that rocks Abe. Masatino catches Abe with a knee strike to the thigh. Abe gets caught with a vicious knee to the side of the stomach. Round 1 is brought to the end as the time runs out. So let's have a look at the fight metrics here. Punches and jabs. He's definitely got the win here. 32. Knees 1. Knees jab 1. Definitely on top there. And one last round of round two begins. I don't know if I can click any of this during the show. Nope. The two fighters engage. Masatino slips past the right hook attempt and attacks with a jab and a right hook. Looking very tired. Abe ain't able to resist. Being pulled into the clinch by Masatino. Masatino is trying to muscle Abe up against the cage. Abe ends up back up against the cage. Masatino pins Abe up against the cage and uses dirty boxing to inflict some damage. Abe looks like he doesn't have a lot left to give. Masatino catches Abe with a powerful knee strikes to the stomach while he's pressed up against the cage. Masatino uses dirty boxing to punish Abe while he's pressed up against the cage. Mazzatina is able to press up against the cage with a nice short overcut. Mazzatina uses a hard foot stomp. With the fight being stuck up against the cage for a lengthy period of time, the referee restarts them back in the centre. Mazzatina appears to be feeling a little fatigue for the first time in this fight. His hands are starting to lower just a fraction. They engage in the centre. Mazzatina tries to hit a hand, but it gets absorbed on his opponent's gloves. Abe is off target with a jab, but also has a right hand block, and exchange strikes does not produce any damage. Both fighters move in and engage. Abe lands a left jab and a right cross. Mazzatina lands a 1-2. They engage in the centre. Abe misses a right cross and that leaves him open to the counter. Mazzatina attacks with a quick left hook. The fighters force into a sloppy clinch. Using his wrestling skills, Mazzatina is trying to push Abe up against the cage. Mazzatina manages it and controls Abe up against the cage. Abe looks like he's almost out on his feet with extraordinary. Mazzatina smothers Abe against the cage and he uses his dirty boxing skills to his advantage. Egan goes with knee to the side, knee to the inside of the thigh. Mazzatina is breathing very hard. Mazzatina smothers Abe against the cage and uses his dirty boxing skills to his advantage. Abe is up against the cage and eats a sharp right to the ear. Mazzatina uses a vicious foot stomp. The time runs out and that is the round over, and so is the fight. The official decisions are being reported now. All three judges have Mazzatina down as the winner. The winner by unanimous decision is Gurukula Mazzatina. And there we go. The fight being rated as decent. Oh, no. Actually, no. Let's have a look at the fight metrics for round 2. 19, 2, and 1. Not as many as the round 1 there. Of course, they had a lot more time. But as I say, the show will be changing. The way we do rounds and everything else will be changing at the next show. Gurukula Mazzatina checks all his sponsors and thanks all of his fans who turned out to support him. He says he's very happy to have won on his AF debut and that he's very happy here. Awesome. Next up is moving on. Is Jack Magoffin battles Nasty Zane Fraser. This is going to be an interesting one. They're 27 years old, 6'6", 250, 5'10", 225, 32. He's from Pack, Ohio. He's from Hollywood, California. And it's a freestyle match. We'll see. John McCarthy is the referee for this fight. The judges are in for this bout are Leo Masters, Clifford Robinson, and Lance Dewey. That's the opening bell. They touch gloves. Fraser and Fraser exchange of strikes. Magoffin throws a counter left but doesn't connect. Fraser can't connect with his set-up strike, but then he lands a vicious right cross. Magoffin is dazed as the referee starts a 10 count. 4, 5. Magoffin is back up. The fight continues. They come together and strike, but neither fighter does any damage. An exchange of strikes doesn't go anywhere. There's a takedown attempt from Magoffin. Fraser almost got away with but not quite. He's left hopping while Magoffin has hold of one of his legs. Magoffin dives Fraser up against the cage. Magoffin tries to keep him up against the cage, but Fraser works enough space that he can slip away and back to the centre. Fraser throws a punch, but Magoffin avoids it. Magoffin moves in fast and clinches with Fraser. Magoffin looks for a trip takedown. Fraser can't stop the takedown and has to pull half guard. Looking to catch his breath, Magoffin is content just to throw a couple of punches to the body. Fraser tries to move on the half guard to full guard, but Magoffin doesn't allow it. Magoffin begins to try to get his leg free of half guard and gets a better position. Fraser tries to counter and pass the attempt, and they find themselves scrambling for position. Fraser ends up having to pull guard, losing out in the scramble. Let me have a drink. Time slips away as Magoffin surfs keeps Fraser struck against the ground. Magoffin throws a few weak-looking punches and decides on his next move. Fraser is again controlled against the ground and unable to shift Magoffin off of him. We move into the second half of this round. And time slips away as Magoffin surfing keeps Fraser struck against the ground. Magoffin throws a few right hands as he takes momentum to the plant ahead. Fraser works some separation and tries to quickly scramble his way into a better position. There was enough separation though. Magoffin is able to catch him and secure side control. Magoffin begins trying to get himself into a mount. He loses control momentarily as he tries to mount and scrambles begins. The scramble leaves Magoffin on his back, pulling half guard. Fraser begins trying to get his leg free of half guard and gets a better position. Advancing his position with easy mounts Magoffin. Fraser pounds away. Magoffin is in big trouble and is definitely rocked. Keeping calm under pressure, Magoffin spots for Fraser is overcommitted to the strikes and sweeps him off balance. They scramble position. The scramble sees Fraser up first and he is quick to wrestle Magoffin up against the cage. Fraser tries to do it against Magoffin, but his opponent's wrestling skills prevent any damage from happening. Magoffin waits for Fraser to try and throw some strikes and quickly turns him, creating enough space to escape away from the cage. For the first time, Fraser is starting to breathe a little heavy. We have 1 minute in the round remaining. Fraser comes forward to an attack. Magoffin tries to hit a jab but misses. Fraser lands a left-handed and then he lands a big right hand. Fraser studies his opponent looking pretty relaxed and confident at this point. Fraser lands a left hand and then hits Magoffin with a straight right. There's a takedown attempt from Magoffin. The takedown is complete. Fraser is on his back and pulls guard. Round 1 is brought to an end as the time runs out. So we're going to have a quick look at the Fraser matrix here. 2 takedowns of 3. No takedowns. Punches of power 2 and 2, 3 and 3. And ground strikes 8. But there is 9 here. Ground passes 1 and 2. So I think he's got this round. And here we go, one last round. There's a takedown attempt from Magoffin. Magoffin gets hold of a leg, but Fraser remains standing, hopping on the other foot. Magoffin drives Fraser up against the cage. Dropping down, Magoffin scores the leg and starts looking for the takedown. Fraser's left, hopping on his other leg, trying to balance. Fraser blocks the takedown by acting swiftly and pulling Magoffin back into the tight clinch against the cage. Magoffin tries to take Fraser down. The takedown is Gauffin, and Magoffin gets side control from it. Magoffin throws a few strikes, but they are without venom. So I think this is his debut fight, actually, which is interesting. But they are without venom. Magoffin blocks an attempt to pull guard. Magoffin tries to shoot Fraser in a knee bar. Fraser defends himself well and does not give up the leg. Fraser transitions to half guard. In half guard, Magoffin begins to work to get side control. He's too good for Fraser, slipping out of half guard and straight into the mount. Magoffin unloads with a big right hand, but then Fraser is able to deal with the most of them. Magoffin tries to pan on Fraser, but all the blows are comfortably dealt with. Fraser can't budge Magoffin as well as balanced. Magoffin fires off some rights, but Fraser is in trouble by them. Magoffin blocks an attempt to move him from the mount. We're moving to the final 60 seconds of this round. Magoffin pounds away with his right hand, hitting several big shots. Magoffin fireways with punches, but Fraser doesn't take any undue damage. Fraser can't budge Magoffin, who's around balanced, breathing very hard. Fraser's looking rugged. Magoffin fires away with punches, but Fraser doesn't take any damage. We reach the time limit in the fight. This fight is over. So let's have a look at round 2 here. You can see 3 and 1 of 3 takedowns, 35 crown punches. I think we're going to see Jack Magoffin win this. The judges are now being Fraser. Liam Master's given Fraser the win. Cliff Rivers Robinson has given Magoffin as the winner. So whatever the next judge says is whoever the winner is. Artur has given Fraser the win. Okay, making Nasty saying Fraser the winner by split decision. Okay, wasn't expecting that. I was expecting Magoffin to get it by split decision, but Zane Fraser name checks all your sponsors. Thanks to all the fans who turned out to support him. Zane Fraser says he's very happy to cap his AFL debut with a win, the same as most people are saying right now. Here we go then. This is Aldo Diaz Xavier taking on Nasty Zane Fraser. Have we just had 2 Zane Frasers? Okay, I don't know what's going on there. We'll just have to accept that there is 2 Zane Frasers in the universe from Hollywood, California. God, I didn't even realise that myself. But anyway. It'll be interesting to see what happens here. Interesting. Mike Haynes is the referee, will be the referee. Judge is the same as before. The size difference is clear for all to see. Fraser looks a good 30 out, but he's heavier. And his opponent has a big advantage. Round 1 begins. Both fights meet in the centre. Xavier misses a left jab but scores with a great right hook. Fraser hits a good right hand, a quick exchange of strikes, but doesn't lead to anything. They come together in a strike. Xavier hits a 2-punch combination, a quick left and straight right. Fraser hits a left jab and also connects cleanly with a right hand. Both fighters move and engage. Xavier misses a big right hand, putting him off balance, allowing Fraser to attack with a left jab and a right hand that landed cleanly. That last blow must have really hurt him. Xavier staggers back towards and tries to cover up the best he can. Fraser gets under the guard and floors Xavier with a right uppercut. The referee begins a 10 count. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Xavier is up. The fight continues. Both fighters move in and engage. Xavier misses a big right hand, putting him off balance and allowing Fraser to attack with a nice right hook. The 2 fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative and nothing comes of it. A quick exchange strikes doesn't lead to anything. Fraser comes down forward, walking down Xavier. Xavier flies off a counter jab. Fraser hits the left hand but finds nothing but an air with a big right. Xavier uses the left jab while backing away. Fraser lands a jab and then lands a right hand. Fraser comes in looking to force a striking exchange. Fraser moves inside into the pocket looking to pressure Xavier. Fraser throws a 2-punch combo, but Xavier avoids it. Exchange strikes happen right in the centre of the cage, but neither fighter lands anything good. We're now at the halfway point of this round. Fraser attacks with strikes. Xavier tries to hit a jab but misses. Xavier fails for a clever ferret. Fraser connects with a nice jab and then he hits a nice straight right that lands hard. Fraser's still moving well, but he is definitely breathing a little deeper now. Both fighters meet in the centre. Xavier connects with a left hand. Fraser lands a left jab and also connects cleanly with a right hand. They stand and train blows, but neither can land anything damage. Both fighters come together and strike. Xavier scores with a jab but doesn't connect with a right hand. Fraser scores with a jab but also lands a nice right hook. Fraser may have hurt his own hand with that last punch, judging from his reaction. A broken hand would certainly have a big impact upon his chances of winning. The two fighters coming forward engage. Xavier hits a jab but misses with the right hand. Fraser is off target with the jab but lands a right hook. Fraser appears to be feeling a little fatigue for the first time in this fight. His hands are starting to lower just a fraction. The two combatants meet in the centre and start to strike. There's a burst of strikes, but neither fighter gets caught. Fraser is off target with the left jab and also has a right hook blocked. Xavier is off target with the left jab and also misses a right hand. The two combatants meet in the centre and start to strike. Both fighters strike, but nobody managed to land. Fraser doesn't connect with the left jab and also doesn't connect with the right hand. Xavier doesn't connect with the right hand. Fraser looks very tired out there. Fraser steps forward looking to strike. Fraser looks to pressure Xavier stepping into the pocket. We have a quick drink. Fraser kicks a quick 1-2 but doesn't land either blow. The two fighters engage. Xavier scores with a jab but doesn't connect with the right hand. Fraser lands a left jab and also nails a right cross. The two fighters engage. Xavier misses a right cross and leaves him open with a counter jab. Fraser's in with a quick left jab and a right hook that is ducked. Seeing that Fraser looks shattered, Xavier easily pulls him into the clinch. Fraser is trying to muscle Xavier up against the cage. Xavier ends up back up against the cage. We move into the final 6 seconds of this round. Fraser hits a knee strike to the thigh. Fraser catches Xavier with a knee strike to the thigh. Fraser drives a knee to the thigh area. Xavier waits for Fraser to try and throw an elbow and quickly turns and creates enough space to escape away from the cage. Fraser looks like he's on the verge of extortion. You know the word. The two fighters engage. Fraser is off target with the jab but connects with the right hand. Xavier connects with the left hand. See if Fraser looks shattered. Xavier easily pulls him into the clinch. That's the time runs out on round 1. And here we go, one last round. Both fighters move in and engage. Xavier misses the right cross that leaves him open to the counter. Fraser attacks with a left jab and a good right hook. Fraser looks confident, shorting the range as he looks to strike. Xavier looked like he was going to shoot, but Fraser similarly took the initiative first. Fraser throws a quick 1-2, but doesn't land either blow. For the first time, Xavier is trying to breathe a little heavy. Both fighters step in to strike. Fraser misses a big right hand, allowing Xavier to counter with a jab, and the right hand narrowly fails to connect. Exchange of strikes doesn't go anywhere. Xavier may have been setting up to shoot, but Fraser aggressively took the initiative. Fraser connects with a jab, but his big right hand follows up, misses. Both fighters come together and strike. Xavier slips past a right hook in attempt and attacks with a quick left jab and a right hand, but narrowly fails to connect. They exchange a few strikes, but nothing significant lands. The two fighters engage. Xavier misses with a big right hand, putting him off balance and allowing Fraser to attack with a jab and a right hand, but narrowly fails to connect. Xavier looks like he's almost out on his feet with extortion. Both fighters moving and engage. Xavier misses a right hook and gets countered with a jab and a big right hand, but just misses. Both fighters coming together and strike. Fraser misses with a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a left jab and a great right hook. Xavier's starting to have to push himself now in his corner. He responds by urging him on a little louder. We move into the final 60 seconds of this round. The two fighters engage. Fraser misses a right hook and gets countered with a jab. A right hook that is avoided at the last second. The fighters go toe to toe with strikes, but neither lands anything significant in exchange. The fighters fall into a sloppy clinch. The control of the clinch, Xavier tries to complete a takedown. The takedown is successful and Fraser is in past, pulls half guard. Xavier pounds away and Fraser eats a few big strikes, but it doesn't like he has much left in the tank. We've reached the time limit and the fight is over. Official decisions. All three judges give the result in favour of Fraser. The winner by unanimous decision is Nasty Zane Fraser. The official result is Nasty Zane Fraser defeats Aldo Xavier in unanimous decision in 5 minutes. The fight is rated as being good. He's very happy to have won on his AFL debut and is very happy here. Awesome. Right, that's that match done. That's where we're getting into the main event section of the show. No, we're not. He-Man Al Gisby battles Johnny Rhodes, Sunnydale, California, and Las Vegas, Nevada. Hoping the battle will be Shane Rears. Okay, so Joseph Russell Montoya, George Fernando, Lloyd Masters. Rhodes gets a good reaction from the fans as he enters the arena. He's fighting in front of a home crowd tonight. We're in Las Vegas and, of course, we're in Nevada. The fight begins. Rhodes lands a left hand and hits a nice straight right that lands hard. They come together and strike, but neither fighter does any damage. Rhodes comes forward looking to force a striking exchange. Rhodes looks to pressure Gibson, stepping into the pocket. Rhodes connects with a nice jab, and then he catches Gibson with a crunching right hook. Rhodes comes forward. Gibson throws a counter jab but misses. A jab hits home from Rhodes when he catches Gibson with a crunching right hook. The two fighters come together and strike, but it's really tentative and nothing comes of it. Rhodes steps forward and a striking exchange begins. Gibson tries to hit a jab but misses. A jab lands from Rhodes, but Gibson avoids a big right, and a tentative jab from Gibson lands. Rhodes lands a left hand and then lands a big right hand. A punch from Rhodes fails to land. Moving forward constantly, Rhodes is pressuring Gibson. Rhodes moves inside into the pocket looking to pressure Gibson. Rhodes hits a left jab, then he lands a right hand. Rhodes initiates an exchange of strikes. A jab hits home for Rhodes and he hits Gibson with a beauty of a straight right. Gibson shoots in looking for the takedown. The takedown is complete and Rhodes is on his back and pulls half guard. Gibson tries to push past the half guard, getting his leg free with ease. He gets the side control. Gibson tries to lock Rhodes into an arm triangle. Rhodes fights off the arm triangle attempt. Gibson blocks an attempt to pull guard. Gibson tries to lock Rhodes into a Kuminari. Rhodes blocks it. Rhodes tries to transition to guard but can't manage it. Gibson turns an armbar from Rhodes' side control. Rhodes fights off the armbar attempt. Rhodes tries to transition into a guard but can't manage it. With no question being made, the referee brings the fighters back to their feet. Rhodes is slowing just a little as he starts to get into the gas tank a bit. Rhodes comes forward until the two fighters exchange strikes. Gibson fires off a counter jab but doesn't connect. Rhodes fails to find a home for a jab but then he catches Gibson with a right hook. Rhodes stalks forward, pressuring Gibson. Rhodes bobs out of the way and jab and moves into the pocket. Rhodes can't connect with a jab, but then he scores with a right cross that landed hard. Rhodes attacks with strikes. Gibson tries to land the jab, hit a jab, but misses. A ferret is brought entirely by Gibson, leaving him wide open. Rhodes connects with a jab, but a right hand follow-up misses. The two fighters stand and trade strikes, but neither land anything damage. Rhodes, who looks very tired, clinches rather than trying to move away. Clinch with Rhodes, Gibson looks to try and take him down. Gibson can't get Rhodes down to the ground. Clinch with Rhodes, Gibson looks to try and take him down. Rhodes can't stop the takedown and has to pull half guard. We have 1 minute of the round remaining. In half guard, Gibson begins to work to get side control. Rhodes fights the attempt off and they wind up in a scramble for position. Gibson manages to come out on top with Rhodes pulling guard. Not giving his opponent any room to work, Gibson keeps close body-to-body contact with throwing short strikes to the head and body. Rhodes goes for sweep from the bottom of the guard. Rhodes uses an Evans 3 to get Gibson up and partially over, starting a wide scramble for position. The time is up and that's the end of the round 1. Our last round 2 begins. Rhodes fails to find a home for the jab, but then clinches Gibson, who with a crunching right hook. Rhodes looks very tired out there. Gibson appeared to be going to try and get in close, but Rhodes took the initiative first. Rhodes can't hit a set-up left jab, but then hits Gibson with a beauty of a straight right. Gibson's starting to slow down a touch pass, conserving a little energy. Rhodes comes in looking to strike. Gibson looked like he was going to shoot, but Rhodes simply took the initiative first. Oh my god. Hence why I need to do shorter, change the rules a bit, because it's very difficult to read all this. Where Rhodes connects with a jab but misses with a vicious right hand. Rhodes steps in to look and looks to unleash. It looked like we're about to see Gibson try and get some grappling started, but Rhodes was more aggressive and took the initiative. Rhodes can't connect with his setup strike, but then scores with a right cross that landed hard. Gibson looked like he broke his nose after that shot, and there was blood everywhere. That's going to cause Gibson some major problems with his breathing. Gibson looked like he was going to shoot, but Rhodes similarly took the initiative first. Rhodes connects with a jab but misses with a vicious right hand. It looked like we're about to see Gibson try and get some grappling started, but Rhodes was more aggressive and took the initiative. A jab lands from Rhodes, but his big right hand follow-up misses. We're now halfway point of this round. They stand in and trade the centre of the cage, but neither fighter gives or takes any real damage. Gibson's starting to have to push himself now, and his corner responded by urging him on a little louder. Rhodes comes into the slug and strike. Gibson may have been sent up to shoot, but Rhodes aggressively took the initiative. Rhodes fails to find a home for his jab, but then hits a nice straight right that lands hard. Rhodes can't connect with a jab, but then scores with a right cross that landed hard. Rhodes seems to be the fighter fighting against exhaustion. Both fighters move and engage. Gibson misses a right cross that leads him right open to the counter. Rhodes comes with a left jab and right hand that landed cleanly. Rhodes may have hurt his own hand with that last punch, judging by his reaction. If it's a break, that's really going to affect his striking ability. The end of the round is coming quick. There's under a minute left. A tired Gibson moves forward looking for the takedown. The takedown is complete and Rhodes is on his back and pulls guard. That is his third takedown of the fight. Gibson doesn't look like he has much left in the tank. Clearly worried by submission threat, Gibson keeps her very tight to Rhodes and pairs him with short strikes. Rhodes tries to smother Gibson by holding him but can't control. Rhodes doesn't allow Gibson to smother him against the ground. Rhodes tries to break free and scramble for position, but Gibson keeps him trapped. Gibson clings very tight to Rhodes while using a short strike, clearly trying to minimise the threat of submission. The champs will reach the time limit and the fight is over. So, we had a very bloody match there in the end. The ring announcer has now given the official decision. All three judges agreed that Johnny Rhodes is the winner. That's good. Yeah. So we have to see if they have broke their noses or whatever. Johnny Rhodes is the winner by unanimous decision. Official Johnny Rhodes defeat He-Man L. Gibson in the man's decision. The fight was rated as being good, even with a broken nose. Johnny Rhodes' name checks the response. Thanks all the fans who turned out to support Johnny Rhodes celebrating his winning his debut fight. Awesome. After another match is about to begin, it's Jared Gurukula battling Tulu. Are we not? Oh my god. We're not in the semi-main yet. Oh, wrong button. We're all up to 30 minutes. Let me have a quick breather, guys, and I'll be back. Here we go. Right, you ready? So Jared Gudi from the Netherlands taking on Tulu. The referee is Mark Haynes. The judges for the bout are the same as they've all been. He's a much larger fight estimate, and he must have 50 LSB at least on go. The fight could prove significant as the fight unfolds. Round 1 begins. There's a takedown from Tulu. Tulu gets hold of the leg, but Gurukula remains standing on, hopping on one other foot. Gurukula not going down. Tulu starts pushing him against the cage. Tulu passes Gurukula in the cage, forcing him to carry all of his weight. The next phase becomes a stalemate as neither fighter risks leaving a crucial opening that the other one can exploit. Gurukula rests back against Tulu, training him enough so that he can escape away from the cage. Tulu is looking very tired. Already? Jeez. Gurukula comes forward and the two fighters exchange. Tulu tries to hit a jab but misses. Gurukula can't hit a setup jab, but then he hits a nice straight right that lands hard. Moving forward constantly, Gurukula is pressing Tulu. Tulu hits a counter left hand. Gurukula connects with a nice jab, but then he lands a big right hand. Gurukula attacks with strikes. Tulu manages a counter jab. Gurukula connects with a nice jab, but then hits Tulu with a beautiful straight rights. Retreating until backed up against the cage. Tulu looks like punch drunk. He may have been in big trouble. He's covering up as best he can, but he's vulnerable. Gurukula smashes through a big right hand through the guard. Tulu can do nothing but try and cover up. Gurukula smashes through a big right hand. The guard Tulu can't do nothing but cover up. The referee has seen enough and jumps in to stop the fight. Tulu wasn't often enough intelligent defense. They think the referee is slow to react, but should have been stopped earlier. Gurukula takes the win by TKO, technical knockout. Visual Gurukula defeats Tulu TKO in 22 minutes and 27 seconds of round 1. That was a great fight. If I do say so myself. So, I'm just having a quick breather. I'm thinking about some. I think this is, since this series started, that was our first. It might not have been, but I swear that this is kind of our best show. So I think this is, for a lot of these wrestlers, we literally just signed them for this show. And a lot of them should be on the preliminaries. But I'm using them on the main show. So it's quite interesting to see someone like, this get a TKO in the first few minutes. It's brilliant. Yeah, that's fine. So Jonah Gauffin thanks all his sponsors and thanks him, also thanks his friends. The interview asks who would be interested to fight applies. Fabio Gulu would be a tough challenge and that would want to be interesting to try. Well, not happening, mate. Moving on to our next match in which Art Jemison takes on Kez Beesmus, and I haven't got a bloody clue how many more fights we got tonight. This is why each episode is one event each episode, because I've already got 2 episodes done, guys. I'm going to try and get 3 done another one done today, but yeah. Let's see, moving on to the next match, Richard Jameson takes on Kez Beesmus. Mark Haynes will be the referee. The judges for the bout are Lance Dewey, Russell Montoya and Jared Finley, and here we go. They start with a touch of gloves, so we've got freestyle versus boxing, 33, 6'6", 6'1", same weight. Golden Glory versus Lion's Den. Beam shoots him for the takedown. Art can't stop the takedown and has to pull guard. Clear reward by submission threat. Beamers keeps very tight to Art and peppers him with short strikes. Art manages to scoot them backwards until they're against the cage. Using the cage for support, Artur manages to stand up, bringing Beesme's up too. Gives his back through, and Beesme has solid control over him. With Art struggle against the gaze, Beesme tries to complete a takedown from behind. Art tries hard to block it, but Beesme isn't going to not be denied, and eventually gets the takedown. Beesme gets side control off the takedown. Beesme throws small strikes, but he's clearly just taking a moment to try and catch his breath. Art takes the opponent well and manages to pull guard. Art doesn't allow Beesme to smother him against the guard, and Art tries to sweep Beesme. Art unbalances Beesme with a massive elevation sweep, giving him an opponent to scramble. Beesme ends up on the bottom with which Art is side control. With Art inside control, Art attempts an arm triangle. Beesme defends himself well and is in no danger. Beesme tries to transition into a guard but can't manage it. Art throws a few strikes but is clearly slowing things down so he can catch his breath. Art blocks an attempted sweep. Beautiful. Art pounds away on Beesme has landed several good shots in the process. Art pounds away but is unable to land any clean slots. Art blocks an attempted sweep. Art pounds away with Beesme is having serious difficulty surviving them. Art unloads with some right hands but Beesme deals with them comfortably. Beesme tries to sweep Art but can't. Art pounds away with Beesme eating a few big strikes. Art fires away with punches but does little in the way of damage. Beesme tries to sweep but only manages to move Art from side control to north-south position. Art decides to hold position and move himself into side control. Art pounds away, but Beesme is in trouble by the strikes. Art blocks Beesme as he tries to sweep from side control. Art attempts to move to the mount. Beesme rolls to the side and tries to escape the mount, but only succeeds in giving up his bookings back instead. Art pounds away with Ryans, but doesn't do much damage. Beesme tries to roll, but doesn't budge Art. Ow. Beesme is in increasing trouble as Art gets both hooks in. With both hooks in and therefore great control of the body, Art tries to finish Beesme off with a rear naked choke. Beesme fights off the rear naked choke attempt. Beesme tries to improve his chance to survive by breaking free of the hooks, but they're too tight. The time runs out on round 1. That's a very interesting round 1 there. We see 2 takedowns of 2, no submissions in, and we see that he's got a lot more in. Art has a lot more in there. And my voice is starting to fail me. This is why I don't record very often. And when I do TWE, so I can have a break in between. Which I did have a break, but my voice is hurting, so I'm just going to give myself a second. So far tonight, we've had a good fight so far. This is round 1 over and done with, and we'll hopefully... seriously... Let's go. Next up is the final round. We are back underway. Beesme shooting on Art. The takedown is successful when he's got side control but has to settle for half guard. Beesme unloads with big right hands, but Art is able to deal with most of them. Art moves so Beesme is now in full guard, not half guard. Beesme attempts to pass guard. Beesme passes guard, but Art is ready and scrambles for the position in shoe. The scramble results in Beesme being on his back, pulling guard. Art attempts to pass guard. Art gets past the guard with a certain degree of ease and gains side control. Art pounds away with right, and Beesme covers up only a couple manage to get through. Beesme tries to sweep, but gets rolled and Art has his back. Beesme is increasing trouble as Art gets both hooks in. Art with both hooks in attempts to get a rear naked choke fully applied. The winner choke is in deep and Beesme has to tap out. By submission, the winner is Art Jamieson. Official result is Art Jamieson's defeat. Chiz Beesme's submission rear naked choke in 3 minutes 28:32 of round 2. The fighter's rating has been great. We're just going to move on. He can celebrate day after dividends. Already looking forward to the next fight. Thank you. The co-main event is up next. Finally, I swear it was meant to be this is Mercy Mo Smith taking on Katsia Egan Carey in the AFL Openweight division, which won't be run for whatever. Big John McCarthy's doing the referee for this match, and that's the opening bell. So these two, let's remember these guys. These two have fought before. Let's go to fight history before we start the fight. So they have fought before UFC 1 and 2. No, but yeah, 10 and Macy Smith. So UFC 2. When was UFC 2? 305 in attendance, gate 33,000, critical 66, commercial 29. So in November, back in November, these two fought them. So, you know, come forward 2 months, they're fighting again, but this time in a different arena, in a different company. We're going to see how well they do here. Smith stalks forward, pressing Egan. Smith moves into the side pocket, looking to pressure Egan. A jab hits home from Smith, and then he hits a nice straight right. This fight is 2 fighters stand and trade strikes, but neither lands anything damage. Both fighters step into strike. Smith slaps us past a right hook attempt and attacks with a left jab and a glancing blow with a high kick. Smith comes forward. Egan fires off a counter jab but doesn't connect. A jab is wide from Smith, but then he hits Egan with a high right knee head kick. The two fighters engage with strikes, but neither can land a significant shot. Smith comes forward with the two fighters start trading blows. Egan tries to hit a jab but misses. A jab lands from Smith, but Egan dodges a break right head kick follow-up. The fighters go toe-to-toe with strikes, but the flurry ends without any real damaging shots landing. Both fighters meet in the centre. Egan misses a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a pair of left jabs, and they're followed by a right hook. Smith comes forward walking down Egan. Egan fires off the counter jab. Smith misses all the strikes in the combo that ended with a kick to the body. Both fighters move in and engage. Smith counters a right hand with a left jab and a spinning kick. They come together and strike, but neither fighter does any damage. Smith folds his shoulder to relax them and then moves forward. Smith steps forward when strikes, and a striking exchange begins. Egan throws a counter jab but misses. A jab lands from Smith, but Ikakari avoids a big right, removing the second half of this round. They stand and trade in the centre of the cage, but neither fighter can land a good shot. Smith comes forward to force in a striking exchange. Egan manages a counter jab. Smith connects with a jab, but misses when he attempts a big head kick to follow. Smith comes forward to attack. Egan misses with a left hand in exchange. Smith lands a left hand, and then Egan with a high right head kick. Smith comes forward looking to force a strike in exchange. Egan faces off a counter jab but doesn't connect. A jab is wide from Smith, but then he catches Egan with a right hook. The two fighters engage with a strike, but neither lands anything worthwhile. The two fighters engage. Egan misses with a big right hand, allowing Smith to counter with a jab and a solid right hand. Smith is still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now. An exchange of blows comes and goes without either fighter really landing anything significant. Smith comes forward looking to force a striking exchange. Smith steps into the pocket, avoiding a jab on the way. Smith throws a 1-2, but Egan was illegal to it. In exchange of strikes, these both fighters fail to land anything significant. They come together and strike, but neither fighter does any damage. They exchange strikes, but nothing really gets through. They stand and trade in the centre of the cage, but neither fighter can land a good shot. The two fighters engage with strikes, but neither can land a significant shot. The time is up, and that's the end of round 1. Good effort there. That was very exciting round to watch. More, please. So, oh dear. Oh. I'll try and have a bit of fun with this, but it hurts my throat when I'm not talking normal. Oh dear, are you ready? You ready for round 2? I'll be making these rounds a bit short so I can have a bit longer break. And here we go. One last round. They come together and strike. Smith counters with a right hand with a left jab and a right hook that is avoided at the last second. Both fighters move and engage. Smith dodges a right hand and counter attacks with a quick left jab and a quick kick to the lead leg. Both fighters come together and strike. Egan misses a jab but connects with a right hand. Smith hits a left jab and also hits a left roundhouse kick to the body. The two fighters stand and trade strikes, but neither lands anything damaging. Egan is still moving well, but he's definitely breathing a little deeper now. They come together and strike. Smith tries a kick to the body but can't get it. Egan doesn't connect with the left jab, but also doesn't connect with the right hand. Smith is definitely slowing. His gas tank is being challenged here. The two combatants meet in the centre and start to strike. Egan misses a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a jab and a right hand. We're now at the halfway point of the round. The two fighters come forward and engage. Egan misses a big high hand, putting him off balance, allowing Smith to attack with a jab and a light hand. The two combatants meet in the centre and start to strike. Egan misses a right hook and leaves himself open to be countered with a couple of jabs, followed by a spinning kick to the body. They come together and strike. Egan misses a big right hand, allowing Smith to counter with a solid right hand. The two combatants meet in the centre and start to strike. There's a burst of strikes, but neither fighter gets caught. Smith fails on a leg kick attempt. Egan doesn't connect with a left jab and also doesn't find the mark with the right hook. We're moving to the final 60 seconds of this round. Both fighters come together and strike. Smith doesn't connect with the left jab, but hits a right hand. Egan misses with a left jab, but scores with a right hook. Smith is looking really tired. Both fighters step in to strike. Egan doesn't connect with the left jab but hits a right cross. Smith uses a left jab but doesn't connect with a spinning kick to the body. Time was out and that's the end of the fight. The ring announcer has now given the official decision. All three judges have agreed that Smith is the winner. And Morrissey Mo Smith wins by unanimous decision. The official rolls Morrissey Smith defeats Morrissey in unanimous decision in 5 minutes of round 2. The fight was rated as being decent. Yes, we have. Mariah Smith name checks everyone at Gacy Jiu-Jitsu Academy, all his various sponsors and all his friends, family and supporters. Asked who he wants to fight next. He'll fight whoever is put in front of him, but he thinks Masir Finaki would be a particularly good contest. We'll think about that. As I say, we've got a lot of shows booked up. And it's time for the main event of the evening as El Jupo Bus Rutten competes against Fabio Gurukula in the AFL Open Weight Division. This is an interesting match. Our referee is Shane Rears. The judges are Russell Montoya, Jared Finley, and Loyo Martinez. That's the opening bell. The fights go toe-to-toe with strikes, but the flurry ends with anything real damaging shots landing. River comes forward and the two fights start trading blows. Grove throws a counter left, but doesn't connect. Rufer lands a jab and then lands a right head kick to the quick. Rutten comes forward to an attack. Gagger misses a counter jab. Rutten lands a left-right hand and then hits a scathing kick to the legs of Gregor. Roof comes forward to the attack. Roof looks pressure. Gregor stepping into the pocket. A jab is right from Roof, but then scores with a leg kick. An exchange strikes happens right in the centre of the cage, but neither fight lands anything good. Roof comes forward, walking down Gugu. And then Rutten bobs out of the way and the jab and moves into the pocket. A jab hits home for Ruffen and then hits a scathing kick to the legs of Gugu. Ruffen strikes, stalks forward, pressuring Gugu. Gugu throws a counter jab but misses. Rutten connects with a nice jab and then he catches Gugu with a roundhouse kick to the body. Rutten confidently comes in closer. Gugu looked like he was going to step in and grapple, but Ruffen simply took the initiative first. Rutten hits a left jab and then lands a low kick to the legs. Gugu shoots in for the takedown. Gugu gets the takedown. Rutten pulls guard. Gugu tries to pass the guard. He passes the guard but can't secure sky control as the Ruffen starts to scramble position. The scrambles in Rutten having to turtle with Gago holding him down while facing him. Gago tries to pan around but none of the blows land with any degree of power. Gugu shoots aside to stop Rutten getting back up. The two fight standing trade strikes, neither lands a significant blow in the exchange. Rutten comes forward on the attack. Gago fires off a counter jab but can't connect. Rutten ferrets on the attack but leaves Gago slightly off balance. Rutten lands a jab but then he hits in the body kick. Strange strikes happen right in the centre of the cage but nothing comes of it. We pass the halfway mark of this round. Rutten stalks forward pressing Gago. Rutten is now in the pocket. Rutten can't connect with a jab, but then he scores with a leg kick. Rutten stalks forward, pressing Gugu. And Gugu hits a jab in exchange. Rutten hits a left jab, and then he hits a scathing kick to the legs of Gugu. Rutten attacks with strikes. Gugu fires off with a counter jab, but doesn't connect. Rutten misses all strikes in the combo, but ended with a kick to the body. Gugu appeared to be going for the takedown, but Rutten took the initiative first. Rutten can't hit a set up left jab, but then scores with a right cross that landed hard. That blow looks like it may have broken the nose of Gugu. A smash mode is going to force him to breathe through the mouth and will tire him out a lot quicker. So he's now got a broken nose. Connects with a nice jab, then catches Gugu with a low kick to the front legs. Gugu is limping a little bit. Rutten comes forward to an attack. Gugu throws a counter left, but it doesn't connect. Rutten feints causing Gugu to move to one side and leave himself wide open. A jab hits home for Rutten and he hits a scathing kick to the legs of Gugu. For the first time, Rutten's starting to breathe a little heavy. They come together and strike, but neither fighter does any damage. Rutten force an exchange of strikes. Gugu fires off a counter jab but doesn't connect. Rutten fools Gugu with a feint. Rutten doesn't trouble his opponent with a combination ending in a body kick. Rutten forces an exchange of strikes. Gugu fires off a counter jab. Rutten fails to find a home for his jab, but then he scores with a right cross. Rutten steps forward and striking exchange begins. Gugu lands a left hand in exchange. Rutten connects with a nice jab and then he scores with a right cross. Rutten comes forward with the two fighters starting to trade blows. Gugu throws a counter jab but misses. Rutten lands a left hand, then he lands a roundhouse kick to the body. Gugu limps slightly as he circles. Rutten comes forward walking down Gugu. Rutten moves into the pocket. Rutten connects with a nice jab and he hits a nice straight right. The end of the round is coming quick and there's under a minute left. Gurukula may have been set up to shoot. Rutten aggressively took the initiative. Rutten connects with a nice left jab and then scores with a leg kick. The two fighters stand and trade strikes but neither land anything damaging. The two fighters come forward and engage. Rutten counters a right hand with a left kick to the ribs. Round 1 is brought to an end as the time runs out. Round 2 begins. Gurukula's in looking for a takedown. Rutten can't stop the takedown and has to pull guard. Gurukula tries past the guard. Rutten keeps Gurukula in guard. Rutten throws out some punches, but Gurukula leans back to avoid them. Gurukula fires away with punches, but does little in the way of damage. Gurukula deflects punches like Rutten flew from below. Gurukula tries to pound Rutten, but all the blows are comfortably dealt with. Rutten throws out some punches, but Gurukula leans back to avoid them. Rutten drags Gurukula in close control, then hits him with a couple of short punches. Rutten is controlled against the ground, unable to shift Gurukula off him. The lack of progress forces referee Shane Rears to stand the fighters back up. Rutten lands a jab and catches Gurukula with a low kick to the front leg. That's a takedown attempt from Gurukula. Rutten gets taken down by the single leg and has to pull guard. Rutten is controlled against the ground, unable to shift Gurukula off him. Gurukula tries to pass the guard. Rutten fights the attempt off and they wind up scrambling for position. Gurukula ends up in guard. Gurukula lies on top of Rutten, basically smothering him. The time is up and that's the end of the round. And here we go. One last round. Thank God for that because my breath is going. Keep your fluids up, boys. Rutten steps in and looks to run the leash. It looked like we were about to see a lot from Gurukula, but Rutten was more aggressive and took the initiative. Rutten hits the left jab and lands a right hand. Rutten looks confident, shortening the range as he looks to strike. Gurukula may have been setting up to shoot, but Rutten aggressively took the initiative. Rutten can't connect with his step-up strikes and catches Gurukula with a right hook to the body. Rutten can't connect with his set-up strikes, but then hits Gurukula with a straight right hand. Gurukula has to find a definitive limp from damage he's taken to the legs. There's a ragged-looking takedown attempt from a visibly tired Gurukula. Rutten almost got away, but not quite. He's left hopping while Gurukula has hold of one of the legs. Gurukula uses the position to drive Rutten up against the cage. Rutten does like he has much left in the tank. Smothered up against the cage, Rutten can't get free. 30 seconds elapsed with very little happening other than some short punches and some posturing. Gurukula traps Rutten up against the cage and uses double underhooks for control. The next minute or so sees them engaged in close quarters dirty boxing. Rutten throws pressure against the cage and simply can't break the control that Gurukula has over him. The next 30 seconds see them doing very little other than throwing occasional shots to the body punches. Lengthy period of stone results in the referee separating them. A little fatigue might be creeping in as Gurukula was starting to move noticeably more slowly. A tired-looking girl shoots in, looking for the takedown. Once again, he thought he got away with it, but Gurukula has hold of the leg. Gurukula uses the position to drive Rutten up the cage. The end of the round is coming quick, and there's a minute under a minute left. Rutten struggles against the cage. Gurukula tries to trip a takedown. Gurukula uses a nice inside leg, and Rutten has to force pull guard. Breathing very hard, Gurukula is looking ragged. The clock runs down as Rutten is being smothered against the ground. But they've reached the time limit. This fight is over. Here comes the official decision. All four judges have given Rutten the win, making LG Purbas Rutten the winner by unanimous decision. And 5 minutes of the rate is being rated as decent. I think that's quite good. He says very happy to have won in this AFL and is very happy here. Awesome. So as you can see, decent, great, good. I think decent is the best. I haven't really got sure, but I think you have decent, good, great, decent, fantastic. I think that's how it goes. Could be wrong on that, but yeah, 73 critical acclaim, 73, 27,718. Commercial rating, 35%. Not bad. Stream was not broadcast by anyone. Let's close that down. Increased by 0.4%. Again, that's a nice increase. So we're going to close that. We're going to see who. There's not going to be a lot of money coming in from here. As you see, these guys are probably going to get quite a bit. Oh, actually, everyone's going to get quite a bit on the show because they're big names. Right, let's close up this episode with a quick change of the rules. There we go, Fabigo negotiations. Yeah, so we've got some issues there. Masahiro Ono ready to fight. Oh boy. Yes, please, baby. I'm going to offer him a 4 years and 10 fight contract because he is amazing. But anyway, so the rules and settings are not working for our fighters. We're doing a lot of issues, so we are going to do a little bit different. We're going to do 3 times 3 3-minute rounds. 4 times 3 4-minute rounds. Oh no, we'll do 5, and then title matches should be 6. No, yeah, 6. There you go. So as you can see, everything's there's nothing illegal, but yeah. So we got the stuff. So as you can see, we're going up slowly but surely. So yeah, it's quite good. We're going to see you guys for the next show, which of course is Night of Champions. We have Civil War coming up as well. It has 8. Civil War has 8 main fights on the card, so it's quite a good show. No prelims. But we're also going to be adding a new tour show, which will be happening on Sunday, week 4 of March, April. Blaze of Glory. And there we go. We're going to have Advanced Regional Major Show. We're going to do it out of Nevada. We are going to go to New Jersey for this show. And we'll see you for... And we're not sure who's going to be at Blaze of Glory. Why is Blaze of Glory? Oh... Boop. Well, I didn't realise you could do that. AF Civil War. Let's try that again, shall we? Sunday, week 4 of April, May. AFL Making History. Yep. As we're going to do our first show outside of... I think we're going to have Advanced Regional 1994. Let's save that. Making History. I don't know if we can add any fights to that. Well, George on the main card, they're not main eventers. So they'll be moved down, but that is the first fight confirmed for that show. And they'll be moved down eventually. And we'll see you guys in the next episode where we'll see the first champion crowned. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you at AFW Night of Champion very soon.